everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing something a little different to pick my next book that I read. I actually got this idea from Captured in Words. I will link that video in the description below. I watched his video a few weeks ago and it was a great idea, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to try that. So basically what you do is you have 5 books and you first rate them on cover, first line, and then you read the first chapter. And whichever one grips you the most, then that's the book that you read. So that is what we are going to be doing in this video. I really hope you guys like it. If so, I'll do more. So let me know in the comments down below after you get done watching. And let's get started. So I've got 5 books that we're going to rate the cover, read the first line, and then read the first chapter. So first I'm going to show you which books I'm going to pick between. And then we will go into the first round of cover. So the 5 books I have are The Doll Makers by Lynn Buchanan, The Poison Song by Jen Williams. This is the 3rd book in the Winnowing Flame trilogy. Reckless by Lauren Roberts, and this is the 2nd book in her trilogy. Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker, and The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. So those are the 5 books that we are going to be choosing between. So, cover rating. The Doll Makers. We're going to go with this one first. So, if you can see, I don't know what there is not to like about this cover. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love the entire depiction on the front, the blue hinge to it, and you've got a little spider web. She's obviously looking for something. And then on the back, it's more of a warm tinge, and it's the dolls. So, this one automatically draws me to it because it's like you've got a girl on the front. She's holding up a sort of lantern and she's looking for something. So you're like, what is she looking for? But I don't know. I just really love this cover. So in my opinion, I would probably give it a 4-star for the cover, just because of how well done it is and the questions that it brings to my mind. Now let's go to The Poison Song by Jen Williams. This one, to me, I like it. It's got some type of flying cat on the front, which I think is really cool. But it is kind of bare to me a little bit, which is fine. A lot of simple covers are better. Now, if you look a little closer, it does have outlines of trees. And then it's the same on the back. Little trees or branches of some sort. So I do like this. I think it is well done. I think I would give this cover a 3.5 star. The next cover is Reckless. This one, I don't know what it is, but it calls to me. I really, really like the ferns or type of greenery overlaid on a black background. And then you've got either an arrowhead or a spearhead of some sort with red petals. This to me is ooh, okay, what's going on? it's got to be something treacherous, but also like forbidden love or something, you know. Now, for someone like me who has already read the first book, I already know what that is about and what happened at the end. So like this cover depicts what is going to be unfolding, I think. So like I know it's very, very simple, and like I said before, some simple covers are really good, but I really enjoy, it's simple, but yet the arrowhead is very detailed, and I really like that. So to me, I think I would give this one a 4 as well. Next is Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker. So this one, very simple, and to be honest, I bought it because of that. I really like the white outline, like the white backdrop of the cover. It's also got beautiful like colors on this side, but it's like purplish, as you can see as well. And then you've got, I'm going to assume, one of the main characters of this story in the front. And so like to me, and it's black and white as well. So this is a UK cover. I was not a fan of the US cover, so that is why I bought this one. I absolutely love this cover. That's why I bought it. It just simplistic, but yet it really draws the eye, and I think it's perfect. So I'm also going to give this one a 4-star. Next is The Unmaking of June Farrow. This one, it just looks super great. Like, it looks like there's like stars of some sort, or something like coming out of the sky, you know what I mean? But then you have trees around here, so like it's really interesting. It makes you immediately think of magic, in my opinion. Now, you would have to read the synopsis, I would think, to be able to understand what the cover is. The cover doesn't really depict what the story is about, which is completely fine. So like when you read the cover, it's something about like a portal of some sort or whatever. I think. Don't quote me on that, because I'm not gonna read the synopsis. But I really do like it. Do I like it as much as the other ones? No. So I think I will give this one also a 3.5 star. Okay, so now we are on to the first line of the book. So we're gonna go to Doll Makers, and we're going to read the first line in the book. Okay, so while I was flipping through real quick, because it doesn't have chapters, it looks like it is purely a story, like a full-blown straight through, no parts, no chapters, no nothing, except it's got breaks. And when you get to a break, then the first line of the paragraph is bold. So that, I'm going to assume, means it's the chapter breaks. That'll be fun for this one. But anyway, the first line in the Doll Makers is, Licenser Matan considered herself a patient woman. A licenser had to be. So, doesn't really grip me, although I want to know what a licenser is in this context for this story. So, I'm very intrigued by it, but I wouldn't say the first line is like, oh my gosh, I have to keep reading. I think I'll give this a 3. Now we're going to go to the first line of The Poison Song by Jen Williams. This one I know does have chapters, so... Okay, so the first sentence is 1 word, and the second sentence is 2 words, so I'm gonna read 3 sentences for this one. So it says, ink and paper. In this tower built with the silence of women, I have been given back my voice. Very interesting. So, it's in italics. So, it's very intriguing I want to know, like, who's writing this? What tower is this person in? And why did they take away her voice? And when I say voice, like, not physically, maybe, but I'm thinking more of they just are controlling her or him. Oh yeah, no, it's a her because it's Silence of Women. So this one definitely intrigues me for sure. It's still not something like, oh my gosh, I have to keep going. So I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Pretty good. Reckless. So this one I know has chapters. Oh, it's got a family tree. Okay, so this has got a prologue and a chapter 1. So probably what'll happen, so when it's got a prologue, I'll read the prologue and chapter 1. So this one's got a prologue. So let's read the prologue's first sentence. But when I read the actual chapter, I'll do prologue and chapter 1. So the first sentence is, the halls are eerily empty at this hour. So you got to take in the context that, like, it's obviously late. He's walking down the hall that is like when he's maybe not supposed to, maybe. Very interesting. I think it's not killing me. Like, I have to read more though. That's my problem. So I think I'll give this one a 3.5 as well. But still very interesting. Now we're moving to Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. This one has also got a prologue and a chapter 1. So we'll be reading prologue and chapter 1 for Warbreaker as well. So the first line in the prologue is, "It's funny," Vasher thought. "How many things begin with my getting thrown into prison?" Now, that I like. Because it's like, who's Vasher? Because you're starting off with a thought from a character. And then he tells you he's in prison? How is he in prison? What is going on? Why is he there? I'm gonna have to give this a 4 because this is really like, that really wants me to keep reading. Like, why did he get thrown in prison? Very intriguing. I like this. Okay. And the last one is The Unmaking of June Farrow. And this one only has chapter 1 as well, so no prologue. But the first line of chapter 1 is, "When Margaret Ann Farrow died in her sleep on June 10th, 2023, I became the last living pharaoh on earth. So that intrigues me as well, because it's like she's the last of her line on earth. How, like, did she die? Did this person die from an illness? Did she just pass away because it was her time and wasn't in pain or anything like that? And then, is there some meaning behind being the last pharaoh? Like, that's really interesting to me. I'm gonna give this one a 4 as well. I don't know. That one just gripped me, and I'm like really excited about it. So yeah. Okay, so now it's time for me to read the chapters. So I will start reading and then get back to you guys with what I thought. Okay, everyone, so I just got done reading the first chapter of The Doll Makers, and let me tell you, this was really interesting. It started out with, so the main character is actually, her name is Sheen. Matan is the licensing agent that will be giving Sheen her doll maker's license if she passes. So basically the first chapter is Sheen going through the exam. And then something happens that Sheen didn't want to happen, and then arguments. So it was actually really, really good. I'm really intrigued to read more, to be fair. So this I would give probably a 4. So like I don't know. I might have to read more, guys. I don't know if this is gonna be the one. I've got 4 more books to read for the first chapter. So let's move on to the second one. Okay, guys, so I just got done reading chapter 1 of The Poison Song, and let me tell you, it started out with a bang. So there was already an action fighting scene kind of thing. There's already been a death. Like, this starts out with a bang, and it makes me very hopeful for this third book, because to be quite fair, the reason why I haven't read it yet was because I really thought it was going to fall flat for me like the second book did. So reading the first chapter really has me excited. But then again, it's like, this is a really long book, but it shouldn't matter. So I don't know. I really liked it. I think I'm gonna have to give this one a 4 stars as well. It was different than the Dollmaker's first chapter, but they both had the same impact for me. So yes, 4 for this one. So now I'm going to start reading the prologue and first chapter of Reckless, and then I will get back to you guys with my thoughts. Okay guys, so I just finished the prologue and the first chapter of Reckless, and it's just bringing everything back for me. Like, it's just so good. It's bringing back the events of Powerless, the chemistry between Kai and Peyton, and then now the conflict that is between them as well. And I'm just literally like, I wanted to keep going. So I'm gonna give this a 4.5. It just literally, I want myself to be unwell, I guess, again. And so this is just pulling me in that direction. The lines in the first chapter from Kai, I just swoon. So 4.5 for Reckless. Oh my gosh, I don't even know right now. I've got 2 more books to do. So now I'm going to read the prologue or first chapter of Warbreaker, and then I will get back to you guys. Guys, so I just got done reading the prologue and chapter 1 of Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker, and oh my gosh guys, let me tell you, like, I can already tell that this is a masterpiece. Like, Brandon Sanderson has created a world that I just literally want to dive into. It's got to do with color and breaths, and I don't even know what else, and that was just from the first, like, the prologue in the first chapter. So like, I'm super freaking intrigued about this. So I don't know, my only like hold up is that it is decently long, but at the same time, like, I need to think, what does that matter? So yeah, I am like super intrigued by this. All kinds of questions, want to learn more. Like, the father in the first chapter just decided to do a switch up, and it's like, what? So I don't even know what else to say, guys. I'm giving this a 4.5 as well. So I've got my last book here that I need to read the first chapter on. Once I do that, I'll get back to you guys, let you know my thoughts, and then we will finish off by deciding which book I am going to read. And probably what I'm going to do is do my 1 through 5. So that way, that'll probably be the order that I read them in as I go. So, catch you guys back in a little bit. Alright guys, so I just finished chapter 1 of The Unmaking of June Farrow, and I really liked the first chapter. It gives you some questions, it makes you question, it makes you kind of want to read more, especially like towards the end of the chapter. It had like a glimpse of something that she said her grandmother was going through, and now I guess it started for her months ago, and so it was really interesting to me. It like definitely makes me want to continue to read, and the author, her writing is absolutely fantastic. I'm actually just finishing up Spells for Forgetting by her, and I absolutely enjoy her writing. She does a phenomenal job. And what's really nice, and I shouldn't really take this into consideration, but I am, I mean, it's pretty small. So, but I would have to say that I would give this a 4. It kept me engaged. So, yeah, there's that. So, got done with judging the covers, judging the first line or sentence, and also got done rating the first chapter of each book. So now what I'm gonna do is tell you guys kind of my order 5 through 1, and then that's gonna be the order that I read them in. So let's get to it. So coming in spot 5, I'm going to do The Poison Song by Jen Williams. This one, it's definitely got me intrigued. I liked how it started out with some action. And I shouldn't, but it is in the back of my mind, like the second book it wasn't hitting for you. Love the first book. The second book just wasn't quite there. So I've got that kind of like flowing in a little bit to this as well. So I am going to read it, but for me, it's going to be 5th in line. Then 4th, I'm going to do The Unmaking of June Farrow. This one, it all just kind of like was the same to me for the cover, the first line, and chapter 1. It's super intriguing, but also like when I'm reading it, it's just not something that's really striking for me, that where I have to read it right now. But definitely want to get to this, especially because it is shorter, and so I can read that fairly quickly. So this one is going to be in the 4th spot. Coming in spot 3, I'm doing The Doll Makers by Lynn Buchanan. So I absolutely love the cover. The first line, it was, it was okay. It was good. And the first chapter, I really enjoyed the first chapter. Definitely want to learn more. Definitely want to know the consequences of what happened at the end of the first chapter. So this one, it's gonna come in to the 3rd spot for me, because I am really intrigued by it, but the other 2 books ahead of it, I'm just a little bit more wanting to read those right now. So this 3rd spot in line. Coming in the 2nd spot is Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker. I just absolutely loved the prologue and the first chapter of this book. I am so ready to dive into it. It's not even funny. Learn the magic system, learn what's going on in the world, like the colors and how they deal with that, and breaths or breathing or whatever that is. Biochromatic is one of the terms that he uses for his magic system in this book. And so I am ready to dive into it, but the other book I really want to read first. So this one is coming in 2nd. So as soon as I get done with the first book, I'm going to this one. And then, of course, you guys already know, after seeing the other 4 books, which one came in first place for me. None other than Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Oh my gosh. So after reading the prologue and the first chapter, first off, prologue gave me a question. I really want to know who this A character is that Kai mentioned at the end of it. Like, I don't remember A from the first book at all. So really want to know who that is. And then after reading the first chapter from Peyton's perspective and hearing what Kai had to say, I have to know. I have to know what happens in this YA love story. Yes, I understand the 3rd book doesn't come out until next year, but I've got to know, guys. I have got to know. So this one I will be reading first. So there you guys have it. That was my pick a book to read based off of the cover, the first line, and the first chapter. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. Please let me know in the comments. I actually had a lot of fun making this video, so I might have to do it again. So yeah, let me know, because I would absolutely love to do it again. But if you've read any of these books, also let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought of those. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and be good people.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show